Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and to another video. So today is Monday, I just got my hair cut, I shaved, I got some new piercings, I'm feeling good. So I figured today was gonna be another good day for a story time video. And this is a big one that I have been wanting to do for a little while now. This one is all about my super crazy ex-boyfriend. And let me tell you guys, he was no mildly crazy ex-boyfriend. Like, this guy was batshit fucking crazy. Like, I don't even know how the hell I ended up with him, but he was my very first boyfriend I had ever had. And a lot of my very first gay experiences were with him, being my very first boyfriend I ever had. But he turned out to be fucking psychotic. So let's dive into the video right now and you guys are gonna find out exactly how psychotic he really was. Okay, you guys, so story number one. So back in my hometown where we used to live, I got a job at the mall. This was probably about 3 to 4 months after we first started dating. I went to work one day and I leave work. And of course he knew my schedule. Being him, he wanted to know every day I worked from beginning to end, which is fine. Some people want to just know what's going on. When I left work, I had plans to go meet a friend for a couple drinks and some food. Me and him, we went to go hang out. And of course, I got a call from my ex-boyfriend. He was like, "Where are you?" Because it was about an hour after I got off work. And I guess he was just expecting me to come home, even though we had no plans. So he calls me, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out with so-and-so." And he was like, he just started freaking out. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you? You come home right now." I'm not gonna fall for that bullshit. I am not into being talked to like that at all. I was like, "No, I'm not coming home right now. I'm hanging out with someone. We have plans." And he just continued to freak out. And he was saying shit like, "You better come home and fucking cook me dinner right now." This was probably like the third or fourth time that he's freaked out like this to me before. So I know he has it in him to be this psychotic. So I just hung up the phone. I just put my phone on silent and he continued to call me for the next 2.5 hours every second he could. So I think he called me like 45 times. And then I got home and he was just losing his mind, like throwing shit around. He picked up some books and just like threw them across the room and like left a little dent in the wall. That was like the very first time we had like a huge argument over nothing. Story number two. Okay, so this one was probably about 6 months after we started dating. So it's a couple months after this whole work fiasco. Don't know why I'm still dating him, but you know, first relationship, especially after coming out. I'm in love, unfortunately, with this guy. So we're at a restaurant and it's a little bit later at night and we're hanging out, you know, everything's going fine, as good as it can, dating him. We ordered our food and we were just chatting and stuff. And at this time, we actually didn't even have a bed. We were so broke that we were sleeping on this nice little floor mat thing. Like, it was still really comfortable and it was doable, but we were looking for a bed. My mom had a bed that she wanted to give me, but you know, my mom was like, "Well, you know, you're dating so-and-so and I don't really like him very much. You know, he treats you like crap, he's crazy. I don't really want to give you the bed, honey, because he's going to be sleeping in it as well and I don't want him to ruin it potentially." So I was like, okay, fair enough. When I was at dinner with my ex, you know, he started to get into it. He was bitching about this and that and starting to go off. And I'm like, you know what? So I just told him why my mom didn't want to give us the bed. I was like, you know what? My mom doesn't want to give us the bed because she doesn't like you. She does not want you sleeping in the bed. And you know, psychotic or not, no one really wants to hear that. But he was crazy. So he, of course, took that and he was flipping out. And he was like, "You know what? Your mom's a fucking..." And I was like, "Whoa, dude, don't say that. Like, do not say that ever." And he was like, "No, your mom's a fucking..." And he says it again and again. And I was like, "Dude, stop." So no joke, I picked up my glass from the table and I threw it at the ground and I grabbed my phone and I left the restaurant. No one wants their partner to be calling their mom that, unless their mom truly is a but my mom certainly is not. I was gonna kick his ass if I ended up just staying in the restaurant. Such a little bitch. He would always just bitch about everything. Okay, next story, you guys. Story number 3. So we moved together to Vancouver. We were living in North Vancouver. When we were there, I realized that he became obsessed with like showering with me. And I don't know why, because in the beginning of our relationship, we didn't shower together too much. He just started to form into his head that he had to shower with me, like every time I wanted to shower. I'm the kind of guy that likes to just kind of like shower alone, just to like, have my privacy, get away from everyone, clean myself. Every time I wanted to shower alone, he would be at the door. Like I'm in the bathroom, the door is locked, and he's in the bathroom all like just banging on the door. Like, hey, let me in. I want to shower with you. And I'm like, no, I want to shower alone. Like I told you. And every time, I would try and calm him down, he would just get more and more frustrated, and he would just like start pounding on the door even harder. And I would be like, dude, like I just want to shower alone. What do you not understand? And then it came to the point where he was like banging so hard that it put a crack in the door. And I'm just like, like, does this really have to be my reality right now? Like, I just want to shower alone. So, eventually I had to open the goddamn door because the kid was going to break the door in half if I did not open it so he could shower with me. I had to open the door and let him shower with me. But as soon as he would get into the shower, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I would just like run out of the shower. Putting my clothes on, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand this kid. It was coming to the point where I'm like, you know what? I cannot be in this relationship. This is absolute fucking trash. He would always say that he's gonna make some changes, and he's like, no, but I love you, blah, blah, blah. Doing all that bullshit to like suck you in and keep you there so you don't leave. Because there was many times where I packed my bags and I was like, I'm gone, yo, like you're too fucked up for me. And well, you guys, I'm sure you could just imagine it came to the time that we officially broke up. And it was the best thing absolutely ever that had happened in my life so far. Of course, after we broke up, he tried to get back together with me, but I said absolutely not. But I was still civil enough to hang out with him, and we both had the same friends. So opportunities came up for us to both go on trips together with our friends. So I said, okay, to going on some trips because I wanted to like go out and have fun and do this and that. So there was a time when our friends were gonna go to another city to go see a concert, and then they were gonna go out afterwards. He was going and they offered for me to come. So I said, okay. We go to the city, we get our hotel, and our girlfriends, they went out, they went to the concert, and we were left at the hotel. At this point, we're broken up. So he's on his absolute best behavior. He's trying to win me back, but I know that he's still really fucked up, of course. Like, I know the kid inside and out. So later on in the night, I'm drinking and we're just kind of waiting for the girls to get back from the concert. I start to get really sleepy and I pass out, and I wake up and the girls are there. My ex-boyfriend is still there too. Eventually, I was just awake enough that I wanted to go out with them afterwards. Because he didn't want to go out, he had it in his mind that I was gonna stay at the hotel with him as well. After I told him I wanted to go out, he started losing his mind, grabs my wallet and throws it out a window. And I was like, dude, like it had a whole bunch of cash in it. It had my ID and my cards. So I had to run out of the hotel room immediately and go down and get it. And thank God it was still on the street. Someone would pick that up in a heartbeat. Like, there are homeless people absolutely everywhere that would just take it and run. Thank God it was still on the road when I got downstairs. But then guess what? I come upstairs and all my bags are outside of the hotel room that I paid for, and the door is locked. My ex-boyfriend was standing on the other side of the door, but my girlfriends were like, stop being an idiot, like get out of here. So they unlocked the door and they let me in. And they're kind of freaked out because they know how crazy he can be. At this point, I had had enough, and he was getting in my face and like trying to like push me around and shit. But I ended up just like decking him so hard, like 3 times right in the face. I ended up splitting his nose open. And then after that, he left me alone. I had enough. We got one final story of my crazy ex-boyfriend. Okay, you guys, so before I started dating my ex, he was going through some ongoing legal issues that had to be settled. And while we were dating, eventually it did get settled. And he ended up with a $20,000 settlement, which is pretty cool. Can't go wrong with that. He had a check that he wanted to give his mom for helping him out over the years. And it was a check for $5,000. So he actually ended up losing that check, and he told the bank that, and the banks, for security, they wanted to freeze his accounts for a couple days. Just the account that they had the settlement money in, not his like official account, even though his official account had $0 in it. They had to freeze his account just to make sure of things, and he was well aware of that. So they said, if you need any money out of your account right now, like we need to give it to you. Otherwise, you will not be able to touch any money for a few days. He had his money, the amount that he wanted for the next couple days, and spent it all. Then he went back into the bank the next day to try and get some more money from that account. And they said, sorry, like we can't. We have to keep your account frozen until we can make sure that this check will not get cashed. And then we can issue you another check. Psychotic, crazy motherfucker. He loses his mind in the bank when they tell him they cannot give him money, and he walks up to this like big display and he like kicks it all over and starts breaking things and then storms out of the bank. So then he found out a few days later, once his bank was unfrozen, that the bank actually withdrew $800 from his account because he ruined a bunch of this display. And you know, the funny thing is the things on the display were probably like chocolates and like mugs. Like he probably ruined like $50 worth of crap, but they took $800 from him because he was acting so crazy and like freakishly stupid that they took way more money than he actually ruined, which is deserved. Good on you, CIBC. Being a dumbass, you know, he spent it all within 2 months. Fucking idiot. And so now, fast forward about 6 years later, since we have dated, the poor kid is like homeless, doing drugs, like took a turn for the absolute worst. Yeah, the kid's just crazy. He's a piece of shit, psychotic, nuts, fucked up. Any word you could possibly have for this human being, he is. He's got major issues. I think a lot of it was derived from like bipolar disorder and anxiety. But the thing is he did not manage that well at all. And it's just spiraled into this like meth addiction and being homeless and jumping from like shithole to shithole. You know, the only reason I know about this is because we have friends of friends. So when I visit my hometown, I still hear about him. He is just not doing good at all. Thank God I dodged that motherfucking bullet. And let me tell you guys that after that, everyone looked like a gem because he was fucked right up. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to another storytime video. Yeah, it felt good to get that one off my chest. That was a big part of my life back in my early 20s, and it is long gone. And now that I have my YouTube channel, it just gives me some great stories to talk about. So in that respect, thank you so much, my ex-boyfriend, for giving me these fantastically fucked up stories to tell my YouTube people. Anyways, you guys, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my life for being put through all that fucked up bullshit. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming back, and I will see you guys again very soon. Okay, bye guys.